Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. Excuse me. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It's a collective energy reading, so therefore it's meant for everybody who sees the video when they see it. It's originally created for Tuesday, April 27th, but it's not only set for that date. If you're seeing this on a date that's not April 27th, continue to watch it. You might still get something out of it. You might still be able to utilize it in your day whenever you're seeing it. I do believe that our spirit guides and our higher self sometimes has ways of throwing messages into our path randomly. So if you're seeing this on a date that's totally off base, take it and see what you can do with it. And basically take what you need and leave the rest. Please look in the drop-down menu if you're watching this on YouTube. There's specific instructions and ideas that I want you to think about when watching any of my videos that are kind of important, so please check that out. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching this somewhere else, like say via Facebook or somewhere where somebody else has posted it, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so you can see me there every morning. Hit the notification bell and you can be notified when I go live. So let's get into this reading and see what's going on here. Also in the drop-down menu, there's ways to contact me for private readings or for if you want to go to the Patreon page and support me there. So that's also available to you. So let's see what we've got going on. Yesterday's reading was quite lovely, so I'm interested to see what the cards are today. Bit phlegmy. I'm having a bit of an allergic attack this morning. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we have the High Priestess this morning. She is definitely the energy of Pisces. She is fully connected, fully on an inward journey. She, to me, is kind of like a mixture of both the underpinning card, which is the Hermit, and then the Magician, right? She kind of, to me, is that perfect blend, the feminine version of those two cards, right? The Hermit is the spiritual seeker that sort of withdraws and goes on his solitary journey, and he's underpinning the early part of this week. And he's Virgo energy, right? High Priestess is Pisces energy, which is the complement to Virgo. So to me, she's sort of like that feminine complement, but she has a little bit of that Magician in her because she's aware of secrets. She's highly in tune, highly in touch. We do have, I forgot that we had that Scorpio full moon. I guess it was last night, and I totally missed it. I was not paying attention, and I noticed the moon last night, and then I saw a posting from another YouTuber that it was a Scorpio full moon reading, and I was like, oh shit, do we have a Scorpio full moon coming? So I'm not mad at seeing her here during this day, because this is for the morning after. So the Scorpio moon, I'm filming these a day early, so the Scorpio moon will be tonight. So the fact that she's showing up says to me, okay guys, let's tap into that Scorpio full moon, get into our psychic senses, our emotions, our feelings, the depths of who we are in our subconscious, maybe do a little shadow work. Scorpio is about all of those intense things like sex, death, and transformation, right? No little light stuff on the table. So when I see her, and with her Piscean energy, a lot of water, a lot of psychic ability, a lot of just awareness in general. Now, the thing with the High Priestess is she always has sort of, in my opinion, she has this connection to the divine or to the higher realms, right? To that higher knowledge, that awareness, the greater consciousness, the greater collective, all of that. But it's sort of maybe a little bit hard for our mind to grasp. Therefore, she can be sometimes secretive. She doesn't necessarily give up her information that easily. She requires us to sort of, maybe give her a little bit of attention, be a little bit discerning in what she's teaching us. We really have to, in my opinion, sort of be on point or on our toes with the High Priestess, not in a bad way, just paying attention to what's being given to us and then making the most sense out of it, if that makes sense. When I look at this picture, she feels very much at peace. She feels very much in tune. You see that her third eye is lit up. Her crown is beaming up to the higher consciousness realm. With yesterday's reading where we saw that Ace of Cups and I can't remember the second card, but both were quite in tune and beautiful. It says to me that continue on this sort of spiritual search through the Hermit. You're going to find some depth, and you're going to find some wisdom, some intuition, some strong, I mean, she's sort of the feminine version of that, right? But there's still a strength to her. There's a beauty to her. There's almost like a passivity in her strength where she doesn't have to force you to take the message. We have to be there and be receptive to it. That's sort of the feminine aspect of sort of nature, and how that role works is that of receptivity versus assertivity, I guess. I don't even know if assertivity is a word, but do you know what I'm saying? So I would say today, find time to connect to our deeper self, our deeper inklings, our thoughts, our feelings, because I still think that some of that Ace of Cups lingers in this. Don't try to make too much sense out of things. Let things be shown to you, right? Because to me, with the High Priestess, yes, she's about secrets, and those secrets do get revealed in due time. They're powerful secrets, right? And I think that in some ways, she needs to know and see that we're ready for them, that we're available and respectful of them. And then she bestows them upon us, right? So some of you could come into major realizations today about, say, a situation or something that you're dealing with where some clarity comes in after a series of confusing moments. Or certainly we have that clarity of the newness of the Ace of Cups happening too. So emotionally, our feelings are shifting. Spiritually, our awareness may be shifting as we're looking at our life or a situation that we're dealing with. You have to apply this to whichever situation you might be working through or focused on right now. But right now, to me, when I see the High Priestess, it's almost like the situation is of the least amount of importance. To me, this energy of this higher spiritual awareness, this connectedness, this peace that comes with her is more what we should be focusing on, right? Is where we should be tapping in and allowing that to be our guide, especially with that Scorpio full moon, because it's going to be extremely psychic. It's going to be extremely sort of maybe even emotional, but not necessarily in a bad way. Just it's going to connect us to some of our more intense subconscious selves. Trust those things. They may be a little bit confusing or maybe don't make complete and total sense to our mind ego, but that's okay. If that makes sense, the High Priestess will show us the way, so will the Hermit. And the Hermit too, you know, I will say this, both are very spiritual cards. The High Priestess is secretive, where the Hermit is sort of like, you know, he's pulled away, he's a little bit withdrawn, he's kind of searching through the darkness for who he truly is. And I think that these could appear a little scary to some of us, right? But don't be afraid. Step forward into this, because it really is a powerful card. It really is about sort of connecting to one's own higher self and trusting that connection first and foremost, versus allowing maybe our life or the situations or the people around us to tell us who we are, right? Now, the next card, the Lightworker Oracle. Wow, is Eternal Now. This is like God just blowing us a kiss, is the way I look at this. And when I look at her, she's in the eternal now, right? She's fully present in her third eye. She's connected to the higher realms. The eternal now is card number 12, right? Which is a number 3, which to me is the mind, body, spirit coming into sort of harmony with one another, honoring all three in equality, and then utilizing all three to support one another. That's kind of why you see that triangle, that pyramid on the beginning of all of my videos. It's all supported underneath by the emotions. That's sort of the concept that I have about, you know, where the goal is supposed to be, right? Where we're supposed to aim for in this physical reality. That's kind of how I see it, is we should have the mind, the body, and the spirit all in equality in a three-sided pyramid supported by the emotions. And that connects sort of like in communication, how those three aspects of the self connect to one another and send messages back and forth through one another. So when I look at this eternal now, it's about being in the present moment. It's about trusting who we are, trusting what we know, even if it doesn't completely make sense. Allowing sort of, our higher power or our higher self to be our guide, remembering that our higher self, like through this high priestess, we are connected to that bigger, greater collective, which we could call God, right? And everybody is connected to that ultimately. And so that God, when we're in our now, supports us, loves us, is guiding us. I love how he's sort of blowing that kiss out to the future. So to me, it's like as we're in our now, we can sort of better, not necessarily plan, but accept our future as it comes to us moment by moment versus resist, force, try and create, struggle against, all of that sort of stuff. There's a freedom in these two cards, I feel like. Both have their eyes closed. Both have their sort of meditative face on. There's a peace to both of them. I love that there's a masculine and a feminine, similar to how we have the High Priestess and the Hermit coming out. I also want to say, too, that because we're now at Tuesday, we're shifting into this Queen of Swords energy from the Sunday reading. So this High Priestess is that feminine aspect of the Queen of Swords touching base with the Hermit and bringing that through into that analytical intelligence of the Queen of Swords, right? Something ideally, hopefully, we're learning about ourselves and our deeper connection to self and our deeper connection to the greater picture that should bring us peace, harmony, and allow us to live more in the now and to feel supported by that. So let's read the Eternal Now. Excuse me. The Eternal Now. Within you is a great strength and courage. However, just because you can manage to keep going when you are drained or stressed, it doesn't mean you have to do so. You are encouraged by your higher guidance to request assistance in letting go of tension within your mind and body. You will gain energy through the release and perhaps even see things in a new and more optimistic light. Shifting into a more present, relaxed, and enjoyable state of being will help you overcome the past and successfully create your future. The invocation. I give myself permission to be free from past pain and future worry. There is so much goodness and so many gifts for me now. I choose to dwell in the peace of this moment, where all is unfolding according to a secret divine perfection. My unique divine destiny is manifesting with loving care. I open to the relief and reassurance that comes to me now. I am loved and provided for, and all is happening for my greatest fulfillment. I invite divine unconditional love to awaken peace in my heart and in the heart of all beings. Through my own free will, so be it. That's a rather powerful reading. I feel like both of these cards are being blessed in some way today. Please be receptive to that blessing. Today's stone, something to ground in, is the word wisdom. There is a spiritual wisdom happening. There's a wisdom in the present moment. There is a wisdom in trusting our journey and knowing that it is for our highest fulfillment, even if we're struggling a little bit. I think that the struggle is that emotionally, from the Ace of Cups of yesterday and this intelligence of the Hermit, we need to go inward and we need to shift our perception. The High Priestess, when she connects up to that higher knowledge, it enables her to allow herself to feel like sort of safer, trust what's going on, trust her guides, trust her higher self, and to gain the wisdom that she needs, either spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all of that, to be able to move through the rest of this week. Again, like I said, we have that Queen of Swords coming in the next few days. So there will be some awareness, some truth, some honesty, and some ability to make some decisions that maybe we didn't feel like at the beginning of the week we could. Ground in this wisdom, ground in the fact that everything that we've done thus far has brought us some semblance of wisdom, even if it's been painful, upsetting, hard to deal with, unfair, all of that. We need to sort of let all of that go and get into the now. Don't dwell in the past, be more present. We saw that also yesterday in the Ace of Cups. This presence that we keep today, as long as it's connected deeply to us, will be powerful, will be strong, and will obviously give us an awareness and a wisdom that we need today to really feel centered, at peace, and and essentially just very much okay. That is your forecast for the day, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up button. Join me tomorrow for tomorrow's forecast. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you need a private reading, check the pull down menu on the video, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.